right, first round. What's going to happen? Tries to bait him with the projectile. Tries to throw, but doesn't connect. Deftly shuts out the jump in. Goes for the throw. Was well in range to score the throw. Had the radar up and running. All right, what's coming up next? Big, low, reaching heavy. KO. Player 2 picks up the first round. That'll give them a psychological advantage. Throws them to negate the block. Hits them with a stopping block. Gets carried to the corner. Chases them into the corner and will now look to do some damage. Player 2, oh, burnout triggered. Not much life difference. Drilling time. That's the Yoga Inferno rip. A quick breather. They're in range. We got the low kick hits. Yoga fire. Perfect execution with the anti-X. Shifts them for the win. We're going into the final round tied up. Which fighter has it in them to grind out the win? Opens with a jump in. Impact. Squat. Anti-air in the clutch. Player 2 needs to use that drive gauge better if they want to take things back. Knockdown. Here comes the mix-up. Were they looking to connect with an overdrive art from this situation? Player 2 with a slight lead. Will they capitalize? Willing to risk it for the overdrive. Player 2 is barely hanging on to the... There's a burnout. Player 2 is in burnout state. A very precarious situation. The low. What's next? What are they gonna do? Blocks the low kick. Baits out the low kick. Ooh, what a smart throw. Okay, here we reads the throw and escape. Noticeable life lead. Is a comeback still possible? Who are they swinging at? They gotta dig down deep. Perfect damage calculation. No doubt about it. Sit down and shut up. They are done. Player 2 is gonna be watching replays for this one for a while. They really took it down to the wire. They're still hungry. Both sides stepping up for the rematch. Low heavy. Jump. This is gonna hurt. From low heavy to... Uses a long range attack there to zone them perfectly. Tries to keep the pressure on the opponent by zoning with Fireball. Player 1 chases them down. Keeping them in the corner will only produce more damage opportunities. We are near the end of the round. Can either fighter pull a rabbit out of their hat here? Burnout is triggered. They saw the chip KO on the table. Player 1 picks up the first round. That'll give them a psychological advantage.
Round 2. Fight.
Decides to create some distance to start. Everything up until now, and everything from here on out, is so vital. The low doesn't connect. Yoga fire there. Will gain control of the match in the early. Smart play to stop the opponent there. Player 2 can't use any drive moves without burning out. Checks him with the projectile. Anti-air experiencing burnout. Player 2 in dire straits, brushes that off and keeps going. Oh, burnout triggered. Both fighters are out of drive. Level 3 super. Spending that meter like it's nobody's business. Are they thinking about how to steal the low heavy connected? Well, listen, when you're locked in, you're locked in. That was a decisive win.
Here comes a new challenger.
It's a mirror match. There's gonna be a lot of pride on the line for this one.
Shall we begin? Prepare yourself.
Round 1. Fight.
Here we go. What are these fighters going to do? Overdrive. We're still in the early going, and it's really anyone's fight. How are they going to deal damage? What's the play here? The fighters are at a standstill. What's going on through their heads? The fighters take a step back to reassess. Time for a new game plan. Player 2 doesn't have a lot of drive gauge to play with. Not a good thing. The corner makes it hard to escape. What'll be the setup here? I can't keep track of these corner switches. Picks up the win with the projectile. Good read. Player 2 picks up the first round. That'll give them a psychological advantage. They both showed their hands a little bit, so they must be thinking of a counter. The jump-in is denied. Things are slow going right now, but we may see someone speed things up soon. Player 2 is going to have a hard time managing experiencing burnout. Player 2 in dire straits with, burnout triggered. Both of them have entered burnout state, which will drastically change their approach to the fight. The drive's off the table. What else have they got? Yoga teleport. Where is he going? Knockdown and? You've got to be mindful of reach and jump-ins at this range. Creates an opening with the low heavy? Player 2 has an empty drive gauge. This is a very precarious situation. Misses the grab. Drops him hard. In there. Player 2 proved to be the victor in that mirror match. Right back into the rematch. We ain't even close to done yet. Are they trying to slow down the pace with a projectile? Denying them a breather there with a long-range fireball. Any developments early in the round will set the table for the rest of the fight. Uncomfortable space here. Can they clip each other on the edge? Trips them up. Player 1 in that dangerous burnout state. Can they outlast it? Player 1 has used up all of their drive gauge. Can they use the corner to mount a comeback? Player 1 creates a good corner opportunity. Taking stock. Player 1 is almost dead, but some clutch drive moves and a few prayers could turn this around in their favor. That drive impact is blocked. KO. Player 2 picks up the always important first round. They'll want to keep the ball rolling. Locks them down with the arch. How will they take advantage of everything that's happened up until now? Player 1 chases them down. Huge opportunity here with no way to backdash out of danger. Things are slow going right now, but we may see someone speed things up soon. Keeping track of the opponent's movements, waiting for a good opening. Player 2 is working with a better gauge. Burnout triggered. Hits them with a stopping bomb. Inferno to turn up the heat. Player 2 will have to deal with this dangerous bout of burnout for a while. Digs in deep to get that drive impact. Going in from upstairs. Player 2 is not in a good place health-wise, but with the super art in play, it's still not over. KO. This is the final round. Expect to see some fireworks. Opts to create space to start. Nice counter. Player 2 had a rough go of it last round due to poor drive management, but there's still time to adapt and turn this match around. Going in. Player 2 is looking at a grim situation with burnout. What now? They changed sides. Steals back a chance. They're taking a step back to slow down the pace. Now they can use drive. Yoga fire to turn up the heat. And whiffs. They're wide open. These fighters are, oh my god, they just choked it up. Bringing the hot fire. This is gonna hurt. What's next? Sets up with the jump in. Gets him with a Euro step. Player 2, the reaction's on display. Throws. I can't believe it. This can lead to some big damage. The super's blocked. Oh, come on, kid. Why would you use the super? Are you kidding me? Player 2 is gonna be watching
Arcade. Here comes a new challenger.
What are we going to see transpire between these fighters? No one knows, but this is going to be a must-see match.
Round 1. Fight.
All right, first round. What's going to happen? Tries to bait him with the projectile. Stands firm and blocks the drive impact. blocks the impact, but they're still pushed back. Any developments early in the round will set the table for the rest of the fight. Player 1 in that dangerous burnout state. Oh, can they survive this badly timed burnout? Player 2 chases them down. The throw misses. Player 1 doesn't have a lot of drive gauge to play with. Not a good thing. We have one player in burnout state, which means they'll have to continue the fight temporarily without using any drive-reliant moves. Nails the anti-air. Down to the wire. Good heads-up decision, opting for the drive impact. Ooh, wants to hit it big here with a springs forward with the drive rush. Closes with the throw, hitting him with the smart stuff. Player 2 takes the round like a thief in the night. What else can they get away with? Oh, canceling each other out. These fighters are in sync. Shoots off a fireball up close. Player 2 did a great job of reading their opponent up close that last round. Can they keep the momentum? There's the impact. Not letting that go unpunished. Player 2 can build off this lead. Hits him with a stopping block. One'll have to drive rush to keep it going. Oh, burnout triggered. Player 1 in dire straits with burnout. Out of drive gauge. Now's the time. Not close enough for the throw. Hits the drive. Life lead is there, but still anyone's game. Sneaks in the throw. Player 2 brings it home. Let's see if they can build themselves a streak. Right back into the rematch. We ain't even close to done yet. Jumps in. Throws them to negate the block. Parries the attack, and parrying attack like that is risky, but the reward is the drive gauge building up. Player 1 has used up all of their drive gauge. They need to hold out. But takes a big gamble and rips out a raw super. Takes a trip. Neither of them willing to back off here. Got their eye on the air. Heading into the end game now. It's getting tense. Knockdown. From up above. Sticks the combo. Player 1 has a chance to win the round if they can put their drive to good use. The low heavy connected. Player 2 on the board first with the win. They'll want to keep the pressure on. Pokes with a medium kick. Are we going to see some fireworks here? Jumps in. Oh, burnout triggered. Player 1 had a hard time managing their drive gauge last round, and I'm sure they're aware that they need to start adapting. Both sides in burnout. They can't drive. The drive's off the table. What else have they got? We're at a standstill, but we may see an eruption soon. Jumps? Player 1 has an empty drive gauge. This is drive rush to keep it going. Throws a projectile to zone the opponent. You've got to be mindful of tries to act quickly but whiffs the attack. Solid anti-air. Are we going to see a comeback here? And whiff! They're wide open. Oh, burnout! Did they mean to do that? Player 1 can't use any drive moves. Gotta play its cups hard. Both of them back. Hit them with a quick low kick. Player 2 was an absolute.
Here comes a new challenger.
Oh, looks like these two have more beef than a Philly cheesesteak.
Shall we?
Round 1. Fight.
Here we go. What are these fighters going to do? Whoa, hold on. Okay, we're in the early stages of the round. Good anti-air. Solid anti-air will shut down the opponent's air game and make it much harder to jump in. Player 1 has used up all of their drive gauge. Can they outlast it? Player 1 needs to deal with this burnout. Grabs them, takes a trip. Player 2 chases them down. Heading into the end game now. It's getting tense. Punish bears the impact. Not letting that go unpunished. Finishes with the throw. Player 1 picks up the first round. That'll give them a psychological advantage. Yoga Flame! Yoga Fire there. Gotta be careful not to whip at this range. Checks with a medium kick. Spending that drive gauge. Hits him with a stop and bop. Super art on deck for both fighters. A super art? Bro leaves them wide open. Closing it out with a super art finish. Nice and clean. There it is. They knew it'd be enough. Player one brings it home.
Here comes a new challenger.
How's this match gonna shake out? It's gonna be exciting to see.
Let us begin. Prepare yourself.
Round one. Fight.
Let's see what they try to do here in the first round. Shoots off a projectile from downtown to check their approach. That was a solid anti-air. Wow, shut down. Uncomfortable space here. Can they clip each other on the edge? Very nice anti-air there. They read their opponent like a book. Player one doesn't have a lot of drive gauge to play with. Not a good thing. How much damage can they deal before the opponent's drive gauge replenishes? All right, what's coming up next? Picks the drive reversal. Both fighters are trying to decide their next move. Life lead opens up. Snipes him out the air. Player two picks up the always important first round. They'll want to keep the ball rolling. Ooh, it looks like they're waiting to see what the opponent wants to do first. Jumps in. Still very early in the round. They're waiting for the opportunity to bust this match wide open. Experiencing burnout. Player one in dire straits with burnout. Out of drive gauge. Now's the time. Not much life difference. Denies the jump in. Not much movement, but the thinking caps are definitely on. Drops him hard. Looking for a chance. Backer just brushes that off and keeps going. More fuel to the fire. Cook him up. Didn't hesitate going for the kill with that super. Puts him on a t-shirt with that finish. Player two brings it home. Let's see if they can build themselves a streak. They're still hungry. Both sides stepping up for the rematch. Ooh, it looks like they're waiting to see what the opponent wants to do first. Fireball from very long range. What's next here? Trying to control their opponent here from a distance. Player one has not been shy about using their drive gauge. They need to make good use of the gauge without emptying it. Player one has used up all of their drive gauge. The drive gauge is completely empty, meaning their ability to block is also weaker. Can they outlast it? Lots of aggression from both sides. Will they build meter or just go all in on each other? I want to see how they manage their SA gauge here. Grabs them, knockdown. They're at the center of the stage. What happens here will have consequences later on. Blocks the low heavy. Taking stock. So they break forward to pressure the opponent. Holds out with a block. Takes a trip. Player one can't afford to get hit with this super art connect in a dire situation. And that's a KO. Timed that perfectly. Player two picks up the always important first round. They'll want to keep the ball rolling. Goes to the overdrive. Player two kept their drive gauge topped off through that round and still took the win. Guess they didn't need it. Who will gain control of the match in the early going? Player one needs to deal with this burnout. We have one player in burnout state, which means they'll have to continue to fight temporarily without using any drive-reliant moves. Player two will want to take advantage of their meter lead while they have it. With this kind of gauge gap, they'll want to think about when to use it and not be trigger happy. Player one doesn't have a lot of drive gauge to play with. Not a good thing. Out of drive gauge. Now's the time. Still scrapping for control of the stage. Both fighters planning something? Blocks it. Ooh! Hits him with a stop and bop. Opts for the critical art. Oh, get ready. Dawson's taking the yoga lesson to new levels of pain. They're really gonna feel this in the morning. Okay, here we go. Player 1 has the flatline zone. Player 2 brings it home.
Survivalist, heroic as a tiger.
Practice. First online. Arcane online. Here comes a new challenger.
Give me that drama. Give me that grime. Are y'all ready? It's fight night time. Here we go. What are these fighters going to do? Stands firm and blocks the drive impact. The low kick is blocked. Deftly shuts out the jumper. Good anti-air. Solid anti-air will shut down the opponent's air game and make it much harder to jump in. Player 2 has the life advantage. They've got a small life lead, but it's not over. Blocks the low heavy. Takes the chance to hurt him. Throws him to negate the block. Player 2 is maintaining the corner position for some juicy down to the wire. Player 2 chases them down. All right, what's coming up next? Gets him. Player 2 on the board first with the win. They'll want to keep the pressure on. Connect with medium kick. Yoga flame. Sonic boom. Player 2 is going to have a hard time managing their drive now. Smart play to stop the opponent there. Checks him with the boom. Player 1 needs to use the threat of the corner here. Going in. Looks like they want to put a new spin on it. Low heavy. Looking for a chance. Oh, could be the start of something. Let's loose a boom. Knockdown. Here comes the mix-up. The projectile connects, not giving the opponent any chances. This is the final round. Expect to see some fireworks. Ooh. Hits him with a stopping block. Super art to show off what a PhD and fighters can do for you. Yoga fire. Player 2 with a slight lead. Will they capitalize? What now? Willing to risk it for the overdrive. Player 1 hack clutch plus anti-air. Player 2 is in burnout state. Knockdown. Here comes the mix-up. Oh, tries to act quickly but whiffs the attack. Oh my God, raw super. Player 2 can't use any drive boost. Gotta play on dump. Player 1 clinches the win.
Here comes a new challenger.
They're all fired up. We're almost underway.
Got it. Round 1. Fight.
The fight's now underway. This is Vicious with the play-by-play. Good anti-air. No good up high. Checks with the projectile. Fireballs are risky, but if the opponent doesn't jump, they're one of the best ground game teams. What's their game plan here at this critical stage? Whiff the throw. Strings it all together. Long low attack hits. Got their eye on the air. Taking stock. Shows a medium kick. Both can end the round now, and the drive gauge disparity may come into play. Player 1 can't use any more drive without burning out. Finishes it with the anti-air. Player 2 hits up the always important first round. They'll want to keep the ball rolling. They've piled up the knowledge. Now, how are they going to use it? Checks them with the projectile. You know their fireball game is solid because they're only throwing it when their opponent can't jump them. Doesn't miss a beat. You've got to be mindful of reach and jump-ins at this range. Player one has the life lead. Can they use it? There's been some back and forth, but no one has dominated the fight. Barely blocks the jump in. So, what's next? Denies the jump in. They just said, get that jump in out of here. Grabs and throws him away. Gotta be careful not to whip at this range. G-right kick for a mix-up. Throw connects and does big damage. All the throw connects. Max SA gauges. Unbelievably in sync with a chance to score big here. Can this drive bring them back? They're low on both life and drive gauge right now. Hits that with confidence. Player one can't use any drive moves. Gotta play it safe. Sits him down with a super. Now that's how you take a round.
How'd I lose?
Player two brings it home. Let's see if they can build themselves a streak. Right back into the rematch. We ain't even close to done yet. Big gap between the two fighters, so they throw out a fireball. Denying them a breather there with a long-range fireball. The impact gets blocked. Player one will be in a world of hurt if their drive gauge runs out. All right. Player one with a sliver of drive gauge left. They may be in for a tough time. If the drive gauge is completely empty, the player will enter burnout and won't be able to use drive for a period of time, so it's vital to not let that happen. The attack is parried. Taking stock. Nails the anti-air. So they break forward to pressure the opponent. All right, what's coming up next? Neither fighter is willing to back down from this exchange. Player one uses the gauge for a super art. Shippo Jinrai hit. Good damage option there. Both fighters planning something? Player one might have just shifted this round into high gear. A gutsy fireball gives them the round. Player one on the board first with the win. They'll want to keep the pressure on. Throws a fireball. Got their eye on the air. Player one did a great job of reading their opponent up close that last round. Can they keep the momentum? What's going to be the play here with this kind of meter gap? What separates the good from the great in this game out of range, relatively safe. Keeps them guessing with a yoga arch. Anti-air drops him. The low heavy's blocked. Oh, burnout triggered. Player one in dire straits with burnout. Medium kick goes low. Wrecks them. Bringing the hot cashes out the cage right there. A clean KO. Nice meter away. Flatline zone. This is the final round. Expect to see some fireworks. Decides not to rush in without a plan. Who's going to steal this win? Player two managed their drive gauge well to create lots of opportunities for themselves. Let's see if they can maintain this rhythm. Gotta do better than that. Player one has the super gauge advantage. Gets him with a Euro step. Earns a breather to reset the situation. And whips! They're wide open! Quick step forward! Jump! Blocks the drive reversal? One step ahead of that. Player one, solid anti-air. Aims for the shit! Inferno! What are they cooking up? What now? Player one uses that wall pressure. That was catch as catch can as you're gonna get in a fight. It's not over yet. Best believe it's time for that rundown. Throws a fireball. Looks to add more pressure by parrying the projectile. Saw the projectile easily. They'll want to be careful of positioning here while on the lookout for more projectiles. Deal some damage with that quick combo. Decent damage. What's next? Player one is going to have a hard time managing their drive now. That was a solid anti-air. Uncomfortable space here. Can they clip each other on the edge? Taking stock. Limited resources at hand right now. Both fighters are trying to decide their next move. Player one creates a good corner opportunity. Life lead opens up. One chance here may end this match. KO. Player 1 picks up the first round. That'll give them a psychological advantage. Uses a fireball to try and establish their pace. Parries the projectile. It's not easy to parry projectiles in the heat of a match, but it's definitely effective. Early round decisions are so important to set the tone. At this range, many attacks can connect if you stick something out. The neutral game is very important here. Both fight brushes that off and keeps going. Burns them up. Shoots off a fireball up close. You know their fireball game is solid because they're only throwing it when their opponent can't jump them. Gets out of there with the back down. Blocks it. Barely blocks the jump in. Looking for a chance. Keeps them guessing with a yoga arch. Super arch on deck for both fighters. How they approach the situation will be interesting. Their life is hanging by a thread. They gotta lean heavily on their drive movement. Oh, what's this? Baits out the attack and gets the punish counter. Jiva opts for the critical art. Life lead is there, but still closes with the throw. Hitting him with a smart stuff. Last round, people. Both fighters gotta go all in from this point. It's time for both fighters to lay it all on the line. Attempts to break the stalemate with a fireball. Player 2 took that round comfortably. No need to bring out the big guns yet. Big kick knockdown. Here comes the mix-up. Player 1 has got to work some magic with his limited drive. Crowns him from above. Looking for, reads the jump in perfectly. Drops that off. Player 1 is looking at a, putting the cherry on top. Reversal is hit. Is this gonna set the outcome of this fight in stone? Get your plates ready. Damage is on the menu. Denies the jump in attempt. Player 2 is a force to be...
Here comes a new challenger.
How's this match gonna shake out? It's gonna be exciting to see.
The pleasure is mine.
Round 1. Fight.
Here we go. What are these fighters going to do? Waiting for the opponent to make the first move. Gets a chance with that jump in. No good up high. Who's going to break the silence first? On dangerous turf. Easy to get tagged at this range. Maintains composure and pushes out of the corner. Escapes the corner to reset the situation. Can they convert this punish counter opportunity into something? A drive impact. Absorbs the attack and fires back. Definitely answers the air attack. Punish counter. This could lead to something big. Opts for the throw to close it out. Player 2 hits up the always important first round. They'll want to keep the ball rolling. How will they take advantage of everything that's happened up until now? Will that drive impact get punished? Miss your mark with an impact and you're open to a punish. Brushes that off and keeps going. Sees it coming and blocks it out. Excellent block to shut out the impact. They continue to battle it out in the middle of the stage. What'll happen here? The low heavy's blocked. Scrapping it out, up, baits out the attack and gets the punish counter. Looking to impress with this super. Are they dead off this super? It's too close to call. And it's just enough. Solid read on the bars. Player 2 buried their opponent. Right back into the rematch. We ain't even close to done yet. This is crucial. The opening round is about to begin. Gets a good read on their opponent. Punishes there with the drive impact. Really laying on the pressure. Player 2 has the life lead. So they break forward to pressure the opponent. Knockdown. Projectile to try and change the situation. Takes a trip. Somehow pushes back all the way to center stage. Oh!
No!
Can they convert this punish counter opportunity into something? Player 2, if they can't squander this punish counter chance. Heading into the end game now, it's getting tense. They're jostling for the dominant position in the corner. They decide to hang back and rethink their game plan. This is a critical point of the round where they just need to go for it. Player 2 has completely used all of their drive gauge, but they still have enough to snipe some out the air. Player 2 picks up the first round. That'll give them a psychological advantage. Goes for the rush down to start. They're on a mission. Jumps. Hits them with a stopping block. Smart play with the throw. That throw will do some good damage. Both fighters have a full super meter on deck. The winner will be the one who manages it best. This is where smart meter management is going to come into play. Our fighters will need to tread carefully. You gotta be mindful of reach and jump-ins at this range. From low heavy to... They can't squander this punish counter chance. Going in? No! There's no escaping that! Last round, people. Both fighters gotta go all in from this point. Rushes down the opponent to impose their will. Ooh, what a smart throw. Smart play. They're going for the super art. Uses the gauge for the super. They are not playing around here. This is going to hurt. Chucks the fireball to continue their holds over their zone. Player 2 connects with the throw. This can lead to some big damage. Yoga fire. What are they gonna do? Clutch anti-air. Bringing the hot... Oh! Putting the cherry on top! Still alive? Still alive? Are they dead? Oh, they're dead! What a way to close it out!
Awesome
Player 2 made some smart moves there! Great game!
Here comes a new challenger.
This is gonna be a 5-star match. Get ready for history to be made.
Shall we begin?
Hope you're not a sore loser.
Round 1. Fight.
All right, first round. What's going to happen? Gets back with a well-placed drive reversal. Just like that there. Drive reversals let you counter while guarding. Player 1 has been really leaning on that drive gauge. All right. Clear that neither of them wants to be in the corner. Gets out of the corner. Uncomfortable space here. Can they clip each other on the edge? Knockdown. With the hold your breath. Punish counter. This could lead to something big. Player 2 down to the wire. They can't squander this punish counter chance. Grilling time. Let the yoga instructor wraps it up with a decisive combo. Player 1 picks up the always important first round. They'll want to keep the ball rolling. Steps back to start things off. Everything up until now, and everything from here on out, is so vital. Hits him with his free throw. This is gonna be bad news. That's how you force your opponent to do what you want so you can get a punish. Drink level max out. This party's getting crazy. You gotta be mindful of reach and jump-ins at this range. Hits him with a stop and bop. Breaks the block with a throw. Player 1 is working with a better gauge. What can they do with it? What separates the good from the great in this game is smart gauge management. Low heavy. Going in. Jumps in. The throw brushes that off and keeps going. Are we gonna see a comeback here? No! Critical art now? Player 2 can't let this simmer. They gotta start cooking. Shreds them with a critical art. Such a smart play to go for in this situation. Fighting back against the odds and giving them a chance to... They couldn't leave that unpunished. Player 1 was an absolute beast in that match. It's not over yet. Best believe it's time for that run back. takes the opponent out of the air. This hits him with a stop and pop. Blocks the ambiguous crossup. Some fine spacing and timing. That attack landed for a counter hit. Down to the wire. What's their game plan here? Heats it up with a combo into super. Knockdown. KO. Player one sets the tone with that win. Let's see if they can keep it up. They've piled up the knowledge. Now, how are they going to use it? Hits them with a stop and bop. Oh! Digs in deep to get that drive impact. Punishes there with the drive impact. Really laying on the pressure. Player one will look to apply pressure here. Devil Song, they gotta go for it while they're buffed. Player one is working with a better game. What can they do with it? Drink level 4 and now a full hop next dude finishes them with a drive impact. That's what happens when you capitalize on all of your chances.
Special match. Online. Here comes a new challenger.
Our fighters are ready to get down to it, so let's start the match and see what these warriors are capable of.
Round one. Fight.
The fight's now underway. This is Vicious with the play-by-play. Blocks the jump in. It's the start of the round. How will they start their approach? Checks with the projectile. Fireballs are risky, but if the opponent doesn't jump, they're one of the best ground game tools. Lays on the pressure with the projectile. Are they trying to bait out the jump? Solid combo. The move whiffs and they get nailed with a punish counter. The fight continues in the middle of the stage. This is the range where things get messy. Can they utilize their reach or bait each other out? Heading into the end game now, it's getting tense. Their life is looking critical, and they can't rely too much on ends the round with a punish counter. Living in the opponent's head rent-free right now. Player two on the board first with the win. They'll want to keep the pressure on.
Fight.
Immediate jump in. They've piled up the knowledge. Now, how are they going to use it? Goes for the jump in. You can open up chances to do big damage by baiting something out, getting that opening, and then jumping in. Player two needs to use the threat of the hit them with a stop and bop. Looking to impress with this super. The super hits, and this looks like it's gonna kill. There it is. They knew it'd be enough. Player two brings it home. Let's see if they can build themselves a streak. How is this rematch going to play out? Are we going to witness a blow-up here? Was looking for that jump attack. The impact gets blocked. Whoa, hold on. On dangerous turf. Easy to get tagged at this range. Player one is just about out of drive after that. Plenty of life left in both fighters, but a big difference in drive. How can they use this to their advantage? Grabs him, takes a trip. Perfect. Takes the round without getting touched. Player two takes the round like a thief in the night. What else can they get away with? They piled up the knowledge. Smart play to stop the opponent there. Sneaks in above. Hits him with a stop and bop. Big throws. Knockdown and gotta be careful not to whiff at this range. Looks like they both want to stay out of the corner. Keeps them guessing with a yoga arch. Pumps the brakes on the impact. Oh my god, they just choked it up. Can this drive bring them back? An attack Low heavy, closes it out! Player 2 brings it home.
Here comes a new challenger.
Winning the match, pride and bragging rights are at stake here. Both fighters will need to bring their A game to the table.
Round 1. Fight.
Here we go. What are these fighters going to do? Goes for the fireball. Uncomfortable space here. Can they clip each other on the edge? Player 2 will be in a world of hurt if their drive gauge runs out. Solid combo. The corner makes it hard to escape. What'll be the setup here? This stun might mean the end of this round. Player 1 is maintaining the corner position for some juicy damage. Low heavy for the win. Player 1 sets the tone with that win. Let's see if they can keep it up. Goes for the jump in to start the round. How will they take advantage of everything that's happened up until now? Player 1 kept their drive gauge topped off through that round and still took the win. Guess they didn't need it. Projectile to try and change the situation. Taking stock. Air slasher! Looking for a chance. Rips the slasher out. Player 2 needs to use the threat of the corner here. They gotta be careful not to overextend or their opponent might go for a side switch. Watching each other carefully. Who will make the first move? Knockdown and... excellent block! And it finishes things off with authority with that big punish counter. Player 1 brings it home. Let's see if they can build themselves a streak. Right back into the rematch. We ain't even close to done yet. Hits him with a stop and block. Tries to bait him with the projectile. Almost had it, but he gets blocked. Blocks the impact, but they're still pushed back. Plenty of space between the two fighters, but who will decide to close the gap? Player 2 will be in a world of hurt if their drive gauge runs out. Lots of aggression from both sides. The low is denied. Grabs him. Closes the gap for the grab. Player 2 is working with a less than ideal drive gauge. They'll need to be very careful here. Takes a trip. Player 1 creates a good corner opportunity. All right, what's coming up next? The kick hits! Player 1 picks up the first round. That'll give them a psychological advantage. Opts to create space to start. Everything up until now, and everything from here on out, is so vital. The jump in experiencing burnout. Player 2 didn't manage their drive properly through that round. Meter management is absolutely vital. They need to manage it properly for this coming round. Both fighters planning something? Player 2 will have to deal with this dangerous bout of burnout for a while. Out of drive gauge. Now's the time. Still scrapping for control of the space. Air slasher. A quick breather. Brushes that off and keeps going. Burnout activates. What now? Connects with the throw. Both fighters have a full super art. Backed into the corner. What the drive impact doesn't work. Player 1 can't afford mistakes without that drive gauge. They're in range. We gonna see a jump in? A dash? This is a critical moment. Lots of distance here. Excellent block. Sets up with kick out of nowhere. Player 1 gets the win in a...
comes a new challenger.
This isn't about just winning the match. Pride and bragging rights are at stake here. Both fighters will need to bring their A game to the table. Let's see what they try to do here in the first round. Checking their opponent. This is a good range to test the opponent's reaction to fireballs. Trying to control their opponent here from a distance. Gets a good read on their opponent. Throws him down. Was well in range to score the throw. Maintains composure and pushes out of the corner. Escapes the corner to reset the situation. That drive impact doesn't get through. Okay, creating some space here. Anything could happen here. Goes for a projectile to try and change the pace. Throws them to negate the block. Taking stock. Heading into the end game now. It's getting tense. Player 2 creates a good corner opportunity. Gets a normal hit. Burnout activates. Player 2 has completely used all of their drive gauge, but they still have enough to come from the brink like that? What a comeback! Player 2 on the board first with the win. They'll want to keep the pressure on. Nightshade Pulse comes out to play. Spends the gauge for the drive reversal. Opts to use the gauge for the drive reversal. At this range, springs forward with the drive rush. Both fighters planning something? Lets off a Yoga Fire. Hits him with a stop and bomb. The punish counter gives them a great opening here to do big damage. That's how you force your opponent to do what you want so you can get a punish. Fires off a Nightshade Pulse. How will they manage their drive gauges? Goes for the jump in. Are we gonna see a comeback here? Knockdown and... Perfect execution with the anti-air. Confirm on the merciless Yoga. No holding back. Dawson getting real serious with them. What now? They're in range. We gonna see a jump in? A dash? What a finish! Last round, people. Both fighters gotta go all in from this one. They are letting it fly from the get-go. This is it. Who's gonna take it all? Player 1 won out those close scuffles, and now they gotta have a plan for the next round. Both fighters are standing firm with plenty of help from Nick. Drive rush to keep it going. Reversal. Player 1 is in a pretty good situation. Anti-air in the clutch. Crowns him from above. Gets him with a Euro step. Earns a breather to reset the situation. Drive rush. Clutch anti-air. Player 1 is dangerously close to running out of drive. Somehow manages to block the jump in. What are they gonna do? Burn out, but they may have a plan here. Gonna hit. What's gonna happen here? Data talents are out and they're hungry. Can they make the most of this? Noticeable life lead. Is a comeback still possible? The low's blocked. In with the cross. Are they going to be able to come back and snatch victory? Crowns them from above. Smart play, triggering toxic blossom. I can't believe it. What a statement with that fireball. This round may end with a timeout. Can either fighter come in? It's over. Player 1 is gonna be watching replays for this one for a while. They really took it down to the wire. It's not over yet. Let's believe it's time for that comeback. That combo did decent damage. Yoga Fire there. Jump. Tries to keep the pressure on the opponent by zoning with Fireball. Taking stock. This is the perfect range to reach out and tag them with something. Can't tech the throw. Knockdown. The drive impact whiffs. Are they ready to punish? Very solid corner switch. Fires off a Nightshade Pulse. Hold your breath. This is gonna be bad news. It's a good spot to use the super. What'll happen here? Player 2 KO. Player 2 picks up the first round. That'll give them a psychological advantage. Goes for the jump in to start. Attempts to break the stalemate with a fireball. Nightshade Pulse comes out to play. Keeps them guessing with a springs forward with the drive rush. Closes the distance. Brushes that off and keeps going. Yoga Flame. Ooh. Digs in deep to get that drive in. Ups the damage on that by opting to go for the overdrive on. Player one will look to apply. Got him up against the wall and the stun is there. Clean transition to Toxic Blossom. What's next? Drive it back, misses. What a finish! We're going into the final round tied up. Which fighter has it in them to grind out the win? They are letting it fly from the get-go. Final round. Who will the fighting game gods favor here? Player one didn't rely too much on drive in that last round, but they may be looking to mix things up. Both fighters have a full super meter on deck. The winner will be the one who manages it best. Player one has the life lead. Can drive rush. Gets him with a Euro step. Earns a breather to reset the situation. Yoga Fire. Drops that off. The punish counter on reaction. Ooh, you never know what can happen here. Oh, putting the cherry on top. Still alive? Still alive? My magnum open! Are they dead? Oh, they're dead! What a way to close it out!
Win.
Player one is a...
Here comes a new challenger.
Two of the biggest lab monsters are about to get it going.
Fight with all your...
Round one. Fight.
The fight's now underway. This is Vicious with the play-by-play. Good anti-air. Solid anti-air will shut down the opponent's air game and make it much harder to jump in. Player two with the life lead. There's still a lot of fighting to be had. It's anyone's match. Player two is just about out of drive on. All right, what's coming up next? At this range, many attacks down to the wire. KO. Player two sets the tone with that win. Let's see if they can keep it up. Hold your breath. Lands a punish counter for the first hit. Lets off a Yoga Fire. Hits him with a stopping bomb. Combo with the target combo. Gets the combo. Oh, they're in the corner now. No running away. Player one can't use any drive moves without burning out. Both fighters planning something? Their will to win is really being tested here. Light lead is there, but still anyone a fireball at that range? Player two brings it home. Let's see if they can build themselves a streak.
Here comes a new challenger.
We're in for something special right here, right now.
Nowhere to rest.
Round one. Fight.
All right, first round. What's going to happen? Puts one in the pocket. The throw hits. Now the fun begins. Was well in range to score the throw. Stands firm and blocks the drive impact. Ooh, will they hit, whip, or even charge in? Tricky territory here. Goes for a projectile to try and change the pace. You know their fireball game is solid because they're only throwing it when their opponent can't jump from it. Brushes off the impact. Sees it coming and blocks it out. Down to the wire. This is gonna be bad news. Knockdown. KO. Player two takes the round like a thief in the night. What else can they get away with? Stings them with the Shikusen. Player one chases them down. Saihasho brushes that off and keeps going. Gets the back throw to turn things around. Yoga Fire, they can't squander this punish counter chance. Both fighters have a full super meter on deck. The winner will be the one who manages it best. In there! This is the final round. Expect to see some fireworks. Bumps up. Connects with medium kick. Bumps while they're blinking. Just goes for it at this range. Ooh, what a smart throw. Player one can't let this simmer. They gotta start cooking. Crowns him from above. Perfectly executed. Player one was an absolute beast in that match.
Here comes a new challenger.
Oh, looks like these two have more beef than a Philly cheesesteak.
Round one.
Let's see what they try to do here in the first round. Saw that low heavy coming. Player one pushes the opponent into the corner. Buys some time by driving them into the corner. And now they can create some big chances to do damage here. Very solid corner switch. Knockdown.
Sweet dreams! I have you!
The attack is paid. Taking stock. That's one huge life lead. Is this the KO? Player one picks up the first round. That'll give them a psychological advantage. Got their eye on the air. Gets the parry in and adds some pressure. Mistimed the perfect parry, but is still safe. Cool gained control of the match, brushes that off and keeps going. There's the drive impact that's going to lead to a juicy punish counter. That's how you force your opponent to do what you want so you can get a punish. Catapults them up and brings them crashing back down. Player one has an empty drive gauge. This is a very precarious situation. Out of drive gauge. Now's the time. Player two is working with a better gauge. What can they do with it? Reversal. Player two needs to use burns the gauge to turn up the heat. Reads the throw and escapes. A parry? Time to reassess the situation. Connects with the throw. Grabs and throws him away. This is a critical moment. Gotta do better than that. The Gladius pries them open. Escapes the top. What a sick counter. It's like they knew exactly what was gonna happen. Player one brings it home.